hankering for a pork trifecta.
Yeah.
Sounds perfect.
Go to Evo Pizza now. That was a non-sponsored sponsor.
We're not getting paid. That's
Yeah.
what you mean.
I don't even know if I'm keeping this in here. Whatever. Let's drink some beer. So
I was
I got
saying the same thing as we were talking about food.
Yeah, I got some weird beers, man.
Cool.
I
Like
figured
I just didn't have any
suggestions, and I really went with your obscure kind of thing. I don't know if they're actually obscure, but they are not your average beers.
I never heard of them.
I think they're obscure to me. I didn't even check, but I don't think I've had either one of them. You ready to just go into it?
I think we should, man. Let's just jump in.
All right. So I think the first beer we're going to do is a beer called Desert Dawn from Southbound Brewing Company. It's a Saison farmhouse ale, and the only description it gives me is Belgian-style Saison brewed with elderberries. I don't even know what an elderberry is.
They're really old berries.
They're
They're
Oh my God, I
they're
thought
the
you were about-
most respected of the berries. I don't know if you.
They have long white beards.
Yeah.
So that's what we're drinking.
It's got a
5.3%
cool design on it.
It's beautifully painted. Yeah.
Yeah, 5.3% alcohol, 10 IBUs. So it's not going to be very bitter at all. But
What is an IBU?
IBU is an international bittering unit. So that tells you how bitter the beer should be. So the higher the number, the more bitterness you're going to have. The lower the number, less bitterness. What was I looking up? Elderberries? Let's look that up.
Yeah. Let's get some more info on that.
Elderberries. Elderberries near me? No, I just need...
Oh, I got some elderberries near you.
Right.
What it is. Let me get some. Where are they at?
They're on Tinder.
Tinder, the elderberry.
Swipe
That's the place
right.
to go, huh? Swipe.
All right,
These
we're pouring these
blueberries.
beers. I'm looking up the
Elder.
elderberries.
But still swipe right.
Well,
Are you done?
What do you mean am I done? I'm waiting for you to pour the beer.
All right. I was looking up elderberries, and now I just don't even care anymore.
Dude, we need an intern for those things. We can't do that.
All right, we're going to give Joshua his beer.
that's a nice red color there.
Yeah, man. God, I do that every time on the lip, don't I?
Every time.
Every time.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Oh, yeah. Look at that color.
Yeah, man.
Nice, deep, dark red. It also looks like murder blood.
It kind of does. Hand me the other can. I got it. I'm going to reach in for another.
You do that every time. Part of the show.
I wasn't going to mention it again this time, but thanks.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
And I got a little uneven here. We're going to do a little bit more for Caleb. And since you're the guest, you can get the most.
Oh, well, how kind.
And then we're going to cheers this motherfucker.
That's right.
Hi, ho, silver, and cheers.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for coming in, Josh.
Thanks, Josh.
For having me.
By the way, Joshua Jarman in the studio.
Yes, Joshua Jarman,
Hello.
the musical drum box.
Musical drum box.
Local musician.
I haven't heard that before. Musical drum box.
I guess that's what elderberries taste like, because that
It's
tastes
more tart
very
than I expected it
fruit-forward.
to be. Why did you throw that away? I wanted to look at that.
They're both the same. I left one right here.
Touche.
Yeah. So, very fruit
Tart,
forward.
wild berry, dark fruit plus spices.
And, you know, I
That's
can't...
better than I expected, honestly.
It really is.
It's definitely got a bitter note to it.
Yeah. I mean, it's Saison, farmhouse, so that's usually gives you a little bit of sourness.
It says it was created with passion, selected fruits, and music. What kind of music do you think that it was created with? Like,
The Allman Brothers.
Allman Brothers. You know, I would have never guessed you'd say that. That really hit me by surprise, I must say.
I like it.
Honestly, I do too. It kind of tastes... It reminds me a lot of Polly's Island cranberry sauce.
Cranberry sauce, yep.
Yeah. But it's less saucy, I think. It's easier to drink, less syrupy kind of feeling. Not to say that cranberry sauce is bad, but it's too thick
Okay.
in the sweetness.
What about that beer? There was something I saw, I think it was on either Facebook or Untapped or something, or you might have shown it to me. There's a beer that Homegrown Brewhouse had that like had puree in it or something.
Yeah. What was it that I was drinking? I'm not going to even remotely going to try to go through my messages for that.
Well, anyway, I mean, you showed me the glass, and it looked like you had poured, full pulp orange juice in there or something. I mean, it was just...
It was strawberries, I think. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Maybe I'll include it at the bottom of the screen, flashing it. It was this beer.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Elderberry is good, though. This is cool.
Yeah. Honestly, I expected it to be sweeter and a little bit heavier.
I definitely expected sweeter. I'll say that.
Well, I'm going to say for as dark as it is, I think it's actually kind of a good spring summer beer. I mean, it's something refreshing you could actually drink doing yard work or something. It doesn't look like it. It looks like it'd be heavy and something better for winter, but it's a good Thanksgiving beer maybe too.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, you probably hit that one. Right.
I said that earlier.
And we're back to cranberries.
I know.
Yeah.
We went back, but it makes me think of turkey. Like the turkey that you get those super perfect moist cooks, and you're like, oh, this is what I wanted. And then the rest of your turkey meal is just completely dry. No?
No.
Oh, man.
You lost me.
Way
early in that rant.
Dry turkey?
Fried turkey. No, I think I have family who would do the deep fried turkey thing.
I said dry turkey.
Dry turkey. Well, see, we're not even on the same page at all.
Sometimes that
I know.
Yeah, man.
I lost myself.
I'm missing the mark here.
All right, well.
So the artwork on this can says the guy's name was Bika Butts. Bika Butts. Look.
That's the artist's name?
Yeah, I guess so. There's his name, and then there's Bika
Oh,
Butts.
wow, yeah. Illustration.
No, I don't need to look at it. I've heard it from both of you. I trust.
You didn't want to see the words Bika Butts?
It's been scientifically proven now. The two of you.
I don't know if scientifically is the right. I mean, I guess by observation and reporting.
Yeah. Okay.
Science of observation.
All right, Josh. Let's get into what you do, man. You're a musician, a damn good one, actually.
All right. Thank you.
I really like
No, I would second that.
the unique playing abilities that you have.
Tapping on the instrument. Yes.
That's exactly the way I would describe it.
Yeah.
Unique.
It's something that developed, I guess, just by being self-taught, spending a lot of time alone playing music without a band, and so having to sort of, I never really got into like all the electronics with drums, pre-programmed drums and things like that. So I just sort of had to recreate those things on the guitar, and having an open mind helped. Yeah, for a long time, I'm sure I drove my parents crazy with a lot of nonsense, but I'm only slightly nonsensical now. It's cool.
And when did all that start? I mean, how young were you when you picked up a guitar?
7.
7.
Yeah, so that was probably the first major thing in life I learned to do. Like the first thing in reality I could manipulate myself was a guitar, and so I remember. Guitar was so important to me that if I did poorly in school, my dad, who was quite the disciplinarian, would take my instruments, which I collected, and my mom would like sneak me a guitar back for an hour in the middle of the night so that I could still practice, and it sort of kept that fire alive for me. It like kept it interesting, because it was defiant. Like I had to be defiant. I had to defy the father to have music.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No, I like that your mother snuck it back in.
I mean, it's true.
Yes.
That's a very mom thing to do.
Yeah, I mean that's important.
Dude, your dog's getting especially good at singing.
Yeah.
I'm hearing.
You can hear that now.
Oh man, we really need to set up that on-air sign.
Yeah, we do. Hold on, I got to do something real quick. Continue.
Oh, it's the time to jump in. All right, both cameras are going live right now. And only semi version of live because no one else gets to enjoy this live moment but us.
It's so Quasi-Live.
I'm going to put that as a title. We film Quasi-Live editions.
Quasi-Live editions. Yeah, man, it's been a long time. I've been playing guitar for longer than I have recollection of doing anything at all. So, if anything, that has kind of been part of my identity for a long time, you could say, which is an interesting thing to say about yourself, I guess. But
right.
Maybe you could say the same about art.
Oh, most definitely. And it's so funny because a part of me wants to argue that, not so much that it isn't a part of my identity, but it's so hard to define the art aspect of my identity still.
Right, yes.
That it feels so weird. I'm like, yes, that's an essential part of who I am, but at the same time, I just don't even know what the fuck that part even is still. So
that's keeping that open-mindedness, though, and I think that that's where you can stumble upon, in my case, tapping on the guitar and while you play the strings, just because you have to fill in blanks. There's a lot of empty spaces still with art and with, I guess, everything, but taking advantage of those empty spaces yields creativity.
Mm-hmm.
That's what everyone has done to come up with anything ever. Or else you just have a bunch of regurgitating people.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
Did you start doing that just because you thought that that's what you need to do to fill the space, or did you have somebody that you emulated, or some?
No, man. I would say I would enjoy my leisure and would just maybe lazily allow my strumming hand to just wander the guitar. I figured that the strings weren't the only place I could play. It was like it's one big, one tool. Like it has many aspects. I could play in multiple different ways, and I just kind of allowed it to happen. I hate to say such like hippie things. It just happened, man. It just came out, But yeah, I mean that's exactly what it was.
It just felt natural.
It's a feeling thing. It was something that I could get angst or these potent passions through this instrument if I allowed myself to kind of break free of what I thought I had to do just playing the strings with a pick. In fact, I don't even use a pick unless I want to play some real rock and roll or metal music or something like that. But yeah, time and a place, but that's pretty much it. And just kind of letting go, and I kind of live life that way, and that may seem kind of sketch to some people, but ultimately it's not a do as thou will. It's sort of just you don't feel like you have to do exactly what everyone else says you need to do in the way they say to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that seems real easy and like obvious to me, but
It's very difficult for a lot of people.
Well, I think the game makes it difficult, like just the way that we commence running our economy as people generally kind of backs you into a corner to where you kind of have to follow those parameters to some degree. You have to play the strings like a normal person to some degree, to get by, but I think there's still room for that creativity at this time in people, and that's why we still have innovation, especially with the technology we're using to do a podcast from upstairs in this house, we can keep, it's because of those empty pockets that people are exploiting that we have new things.
Yeah. I was reading a book recently. I don't even remember the name of it. Business Plan of the 21st Century or something. I don't remember, but it was talking about how ever since you start going to school, the educational system is grooming you to be a good employee just so you could listen and follow rules. That's how they judge you as a good student, so how well you can listen and how important it is to be a creator or an inventor to kind of go against that grain, which I thought was pretty neat.
I could see that, even in school myself, I was I would say I was defiant then. I never got in trouble, but I would sort of take advantage of a criteria, say for a writing assignment, and we had to write about what you want to be when you grow up, and I would just sort of take advantage of that in writing in a way that was obviously going against the grain, but I would still write it very well, and I would do all the words and everything that count it the way that they were supposed to be counted. And I remember, even though I did poorly as far as the grade scale, teachers always sort of liked me secretly. They're like, I like this guy. He's
right. You don't meet the standards, but I like what you're doing.
He's truthful, and didn't mean I was unintelligent. I just chose to apply my intelligence in a obscure way.
Right.
Kind of like these beers here. We could have Bud Light. What would we have to talk about with Bud Light?
Right.
Oh, man.
If we didn't have the guys that were forward thinking and sideways thinking and whatever and came up with all these weird things, we'd just be drinking plain old beer, plain old swill.
What is this, peyote melting a sun into some sort of black hole abyss?
I feel like the word peyote is spot on.
That's exactly.
And I'm going to, for the people watching, I'll toss this up on the YouTube so you guys can really get that cover.
Yeah.
For people listening, make sure you Google that. It is called, is it Dessert or Desert?
Desert Dawn.
Desert Dawn.
Yeah.
I need to learn how to read.
Well, one step at a time.
Right? 1 S is desert and 2 is dessert.
And then you got dessert, like to leave somebody. Right? Desert?
Yeah, you deserted them?
Is
Yeah.
that spelled different?
No, I think it's spelled like dessert.
Who the hell knows? We're here talking about school and growing up and not even doing well, and we're trying to educate people here. I mean, according to the standard, yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm sorry. No, trust me, I was horrible. If I even showed up to class, much less learned anything. I guess I learned something, but
So
I learned enough to graduate.
we go off what you said about art being somewhat, and kind of what I mentioned earlier, going against the grain, kind of like testing your boundaries, what you can and can't do. I think that when you get that moment that you can release of people's expectations of what to do, and you can do whatever it is you want to do.
Right.
So that means rebelling almost to an extent is kind of an art form.
For sure. I mean, that's, I would say the whole purpose of art is to, again, exploit those empty pockets in the human psyche. The things like, I love art that is facetious in nature. You know, it's sort of like sarcastic intentionally. Art about the occult is intriguing to me because of the connotation it has if you use the word occult, like what that does to most people's mind. They misunderstand or have ignorance to what that sort of thing is. And some artists take advantage of that because it's attractive. It's kind of like a pop culture thing. It's sort of like, you see people who, like artists, visual artists, might paint ghoulish images, or rock and roll artists might sort of just say, I don't know how to really explain it, but yeah, they take advantage of it and use it for pop culture, and it's just misunderstandings and ignorances in the human psyche. I would say that's what most artists do. You paint things that you see in the way you want to see it, so you are manipulating it.
That's true.
To accommodate adventurous ways of looking at things, adventurous perceptions.
Absolutely.
You know?
And I like to do that with colors,
It's like
changing.
a tiger, but it melts.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. Like the pet portrait stuff that you do, the one you even did for me, for Karen, whatever. Yeah, the colors are kind of maybe not inverse colors, but they're definitely, you see it in a different color than the original, and it makes it unique. It makes it kind of pop, makes it different.
I've
I like it.
You paint birds, and I'm impressed because I could tell what the bird is. Like I know the detail and everything, but it's just obscured. It's not exactly as it appears to the eye. So that's the art form. And in the same way, music is, I like to think with some of my songs, the listeners who are going to hear it here on through the microphones will could be led to deduct a number of things. They could think I have a loop pedal, that they could think I have multiple layers of things going on, and I don't. It's just the way that it appears to your ear, more or less,
Oh yeah, you have several that does that.
Right,
Yeah.
and it's a trick.
I can immediately hear it in my head right now. I'm like, oh my god.
Right. Me too.
But everything that I do is, in my opinion, which is maybe sounds sort of foolish to say, but it's sort of simple. Everything I do, I've found to be a flow. And once you can realize flow, it's everything within that flow really doesn't expend very much energy at all. Like I would assume, just like working out or running or anything else, once you get the run going and you have that momentum, you don't have to exert the same amount of energy as when you were getting going, like a train or something like that, So a lot of these songs just sort of roll off the tongue, so to speak, which is cool. I think that my favorite art in general is that way. Artists who just sit down and don't think about what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right. Natural.
Yeah, do it. Don't overthink it. Don't try to impress me. I'm already impressed.
But it took time, right, to get to that stage. I mean, you didn't just start like that. I mean, you had to practice, right? I mean, it's kind of like martial arts. I can do horrible kicks when I first start, but after I've done 10,000 of them, now it's just second nature.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, so you definitely have to sort of earn that or unlock that for yourself. I mean, I have innumerable hours into the guitar. I remember playing Iron Maiden songs at like 13, 14, sitting
Nice.
100 million times in my headphones until I could play it exactly like they did it. And that's just programming yourself to be good at the thing you want to be good at. I don't still play Iron Maiden songs, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm rambling now, but I guess I have a microphone, so that's what we're supposed to do, right?
That is what we're supposed to be
That's
doing.
exactly what we're supposed to do.
It's the rambling now.
Nailed it.
Now, have you always done it just solo, or have you ever been with a band? I know you mentioned band earlier. I can't remember what you said.
For 4 years, and they were called Corsica. It was a local band.
Yeah.
And I did some really cool stuff with that band, man, at a young age. I was 16. They were maybe in their late teens, early 20s, and we played a few venues around town, and very quickly we were playing bigger venues around town, like the Mill, the Sparrow, and at the time the Plex, Music Farm. We got a few shows out of state and recorded an album, and while that's not like the big deal rock star thing to me, my perception, those were like, I was 16, man. It was like the bee's knees, to say the least. And so that ended up falling away, I would say, in 2006 or 7. And people just kind of grow apart. So-and-so got married and someone else did this and that. And so I was just sort of left with a guitar, and I still had this sensational urge to play. Like, I wasn't done yet. I was like, that ended prematurely. I just still have more to do. I lost all those connections because they sort of went for the band rather than what I was trying to do then, and so I had to develop a sound. And it started off sad because I was fucking sad, and I was like, I want my band back, and I have to do all this shit, and everything sounded really like boring and empty-ended.
It's got to come out in your music, sure.
Right. So, slowly but surely, that's kind of what gradually pushed me towards doing this. Eventually, I went to an open mic here in Somerville, and people said that I did well, so that made me want to come back to another open mic, and so on and so forth. And you know, your head gets so big that you start thinking, hey, I can actually make money at doing this, and then you do that, and then people give you money. You do it again, and then some people invite you to have beer with them and talk into a microphone about
Hell yeah.
You still play guitar after all these years, and
Nice.
I like that you're repping your company too. That's pretty cool.
Oh, and the shirt that no one can see?
No, that camera right there is pointing right at it.
Yeah, somebody do it. Somebody will see it.
Yes, sir.
And if you play a song for us,
Yeah,
I'm going to film it with this.
We're going to get right up on
Yeah,
Don't worry, you'll get the publicity.
So 2006, 7 or so, you said Corsica, like Toyota Corsica? Is that what it is?
Yeah, like Chevy Corsica.
Chevy Corsica. That's what it's not.
Yeah,
Toyota.
they were.
I don't know.
They were like in town famous.
Yeah.
We were.
So how long after that before you got your feet back on the ground? I know you said you went through a sad point, whatever, but were you still out performing or just playing for yourself at that point? Did you take a few years off?
That sad point was responsible for writing the songs that I deemed potential enough to go out and make money with. You know what I mean? I didn't. It took me a while to share those songs with people because they were, I don't know, I was for 16 and 18, you go through all sorts of things, and at least I did.
But you're still playing some of those songs now?
I would say ish.
Okay.
I have one or two that
Maybe reincarnations of it.
Yeah, I'll pull out every now and again. But to be frank, man, I've moved on from a lot of the words that those songs wanted me to say, and while they were truth then, they, aren't so true to how I'm living now, and so. See, that's a tricky thing to explain because I don't want to explain away my words. They still have integrity. They just don't apply.
Right. I mean, even the Stones play the hits, still to this day. I mean,
and see, I think that's some of the maybe some of the agony of being a musician who, like, I would imagine if a musician is famed and people like that one hit that they played 15 years ago so much that they have to pretty much retire playing that very same song a bajillion times.
Right.
I would imagine that becomes an agony. And so it's sort of important for me to write new music so that I can keep my mind refreshed. There are a few things that, a few songs I've written over the years that I do enjoy, and I'll pull out if the moment is right. I was writing about stuff like my grandfather went to prison. I was writing stuff that was real angsty, like, how could you do this?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And really, we've made amends and things have changed since then, so it's non-applicable to the moment. However, you never know what someone else needs to hear. So I can't be so selfish as to, like, never play those songs again because someone else.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
So
I bet it's
nice perspective.
It's art for everybody.
It's a struggle, man. I did write some words once that sort of used an allegory, such as a chef, if they don't meet a quota maybe aesthetically for their food, they'll throw it away, while someone down the street may be starving. And artists a lot of times do the very same thing while they write words or on a sheet of paper or paint on a sheet of paper, they very quickly like ball it up and throw it away. I know I've done this before, but you underestimate that, you know, that was a tree that could have been created. You know, you could have turned it into creativity and made the whole thing sort of worthwhile, but instead you decided that it fell short of some expectation you had and that you couldn't offer to somebody else. Like that chef could have fed a hungry person,
right,
in the same way that your art could feed somebody else's mind when you or we sometimes choose to just trash it. Dude, I got books full of words that I'm embarrassed to share, or that I just fell short of some sort of delusional quota I've given myself, and that may be how it always is. You never know.
True. My little brother asks for sketchbooks all the time, and I honestly don't think I have any. I think I threw them away.
Yeah, man.
And I'm like, son of a bitch, never did I think it was going to be important or worthy. Not worthy, it's too much importance,
Right,
but like,
I
they were
remember
just
hearing,
sketchbooks.
like when Joan Rivers died, I think there was something that came out about this. You know, if you go to the library and you have the card, the Dewey Decimal, is that fucking Dewey? Whatever. So you got that little card
Close
thing.
enough.
And she had this whole thing in her house where she kept every joke she'd ever written down on an index card. She had them in this, that she would just thumb through sometimes. And it was something that she didn't like 3 years ago, but all of a sudden now it was relevant or sounded good, or she put a new spin on it. So she would keep everything. I mean, she just had this card file of nothing but jokes.
That's also very valid in that while there are things that I do dispose of occasionally, dude, I've even burnt things like ceremonial, like I'm done with this. Anyway, but yeah, in the same token, there are notebooks where I'll find something I wrote, 5-10 years ago that all of a sudden has some sort of ring of poetry to it, and I'm like, wow, I could really use this in something I'm working on now.
Yeah.
So I do have like a Tupperware full of, like the bottom half of it's really nicely stacked paper, and then after a while you can tell I just got lazy and started throwing things into it. But I would say if anybody ever had to go through my belongings, they would have some sort of a mental breakdown trying to figure out
Decipher
what kind of person I was by going through this Tupperware. It would be ridiculous.
What are you looking at over there?
I can't tell if his mic is loud enough.
It's been about where yours is, where mine is now.
Well, see, that's what I thought, but then I realized I think these little gaps here are him talking.
Me? No, I can see it jumping down there. I've got plenty of time.
I mean, he's maybe at 75
All right, well, I mean,
to 80% of what
he is a
we're
professional
doing.
here, so.
I could speak like this if it would help.
See, you were in the green the entire time.
Yeah. I don't know.
Keep talking.
I mean, if we're not listening to the playback, it doesn't help us. Bump it up a little bit, and we'll just.
I mean, people that are watching the video will see this, but we're looking at the computer screen trying to make sure, because we've, you guys have listened. We've had a few low mics maybe here and there, and it's just equipment, whatever.
It's
so
been
we're trying
a battle,
to deal with
I'm
it.
not going to lie. It's been a battle.
You got to learn as you go, especially if you're just kind of getting things off the ground.
Right, but we want it to sound good for you guys, so yeah, that's what we're doing. We're looking at the computer.
All right, that looks better. All right, I'm just being a little paranoid, I
If you
guess.
have complaints, phone lines are open.
Right.
Complaints, we will get right on.
Oh my gosh, I'm building the website right now. And I didn't think I was going to build a website for a few months, and the reception, the response that we have gotten so far it's been great.
Excellent, man.
So things are on the fast track.
Yeah, we're on it now.
Which is
fucking Twitter,
fucking
Instagram,
thrilling.
Facebook, YouTube channel. We got
SoundCloud,
iTunes,
iTunes.
SoundCloud, Podbean, Spotify's coming, the website now.
Yeah, working on it. Then
So big.
merchandise is next.
Social media outlets, man, I tell you.
Yeah.
Gotta have them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
It's a
I
fucking
am not
monster.
Feeling real good about that. But
Me either. I haven't
admittedly-
posted anything in so long.
Admittedly, I don't care. Other people care, and so for that, if you'd like to be my manager, please contact me, and we'll work some things out. But otherwise, if you truly wish to support my kind of art, just come out and like actually be there. I'd like to look some eyes in the face and be like, hey, here's this thing I created we could share together. But instead, social media seems to be very necessary, and that's where everybody's looking. And you have to be there, and it's
Yeah.
It's an interesting.
I mean, word of mouth is still kind of there too, but that's your biggest word of mouth is those 10,000, 100,000 people you can reach. But
Yeah.
There are so many people, man. It's an interesting thing when I have a show and I can post online and be like, I have a show at this great place, and 50 people will be like, awesome. And I'm like, cool, maybe I'll have 50 people who will show up at my show. Never will that be the case. In fact, those people were in their car driving or were like sitting.
I hope they weren't driving.
You're right. You shouldn't text them. But anyhow, they may have been sitting at home and like, they weren't anticipating going in.
It was a commercial.
I like that you have things to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Good for you playing a show. I'm interested in that.
Right. I'm interested.
It's never. I mean, it's usually what 10% of that number, if that.
Yeah.
I mean,
really.
If you're fortunate.
Yeah.
No, I mean maybe not if you're like Metallica, but
Those guys say they're going, even if it's across the United States somewhere.
More than 50. Yeah.
Dude, there's no telling with those bands. When I was young, I used to go across the street to. I had a friend who was maybe 10 years older than me or so, and we'd get in trouble together and hang out, and we would watch AC/DC videos. We would watch AC/DC live at Donington.
Dude.
And I remember it blew my brain to pieces that this band, like 3, 4, 5 guys, or however many, I'm not sure. Don't hate me. But
I think it's 4, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 4.
I don't.
Tens of thousands. Like, as far as your eye can see, there are people.
Mm-hmm.
And that the ability of 4 people to control the emotions of that many people boggles my brain even this day. I don't understand how. That's just way too cool.
I did the same thing. I grew up watching a lot of AC/DC live concert videos, VHS tapes.
I mean, that is the real deal.
Yeah.
That's rock star, man.
Big.
I don't think I did that.
Oh, dude.
I mean, I watched AC/DC videos, but I don't know how old I was when I started.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was all hazy. I was playing Pokemon. I didn't think about it.
Pokemon, yeah.
It was Kiss and AC/DC for me. That's what I not grew up watching, but I watched a lot of concerts. Because that's what people did back then. They did concerts. They toured. They had these big stadium things, and they didn't just put out albums or put out stuff on iTunes.
I think that's still the only way to make money.
I don't know, man.
It is at this point. I mean, advertising and stuff, obviously, shirts, whatever, stickers, but
you releasing an album isn't going to make you a lot of money in sales.
Right.
So, you have to make your money in, merchandise and touring.
It would be an interesting concept. Let's say you had a private warehouse that you could set up aesthetically however you want. I'm getting excited with the anyway, if you could set it up however you want, and say you live stream a concert, and you don't necessarily have people there, to actually be spectators of the concert. Maybe you sell some VIP tickets to a few people, but you severely limit how many people are there, and you do it specifically online. Could you charge per ticket? Is there a way to charge for someone to view?
Totally. Think about the UFC. They do MMA
that's exactly what
matches all the time. It's pay-per-view.
Do they do
literally pay per view?
Yeah.
And it's expensive.
So you do a live concert.
You could.
And then afterwards you just sell the video of the concert.
Yep.
I got to say, somebody's already done that.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, it had to have been done already.
It seems that could be something that could be done even at our level, a local level. You have a small space somewhere, and you can, all these bands that nobody's showing up for their darn shows anyway, showcase them in a way that you can spend time on the aesthetics and make it look all cool, and kind of like a music video, but more, impromptu, more or less.
All right, let's get on it.
Let's do it. It's done.
Let's figure it out.
Right after
we could be getting $5 a pop right now.
Well, I know there's a company called Cultivate. Oh man, I'm gonna butcher this, and Joe's gonna kill me. Mary's older brother, Joe, is part of a music marketing software company. I don't know, they're crazy ingenious to help a lot of people. I guess just get your name out there. I don't know, that might be something that they work on.
I mean, it just seems like
I was not a musician, so I've never actually used the software before, but it's really impressive.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, especially in a concert setting, because if you do have people who are, quote, true fans, they'll buy maybe the VIP tickets so they could actually be there. And, I don't know. It seemed pretty awesome. If you could see Led Zeppelin with 50 other people, and that's it. That's
yeah.
I mean, you could have a town meeting and just throw it up on a projector and charge people tickets.
You guys are going way out.
We are getting way off the subject here.
I mean, yeah, there's no topic. I'm just saying.
You're right.
I can't even jump into this conversation. You guys are on a different level.
So you guys still enjoying your Desert Dawn?
Oh, I already finished mine.
Yeah, Caleb definitely enjoyed it. I got a sip.
Yeah, I thought it was great. And I'm really excited for the next one.
So I noticed that you have some coasters here.
Yep.
They're pretty zen. They have a Buddha there. This is a Buddha Amoghasiddhi. So it's fearlessness. It's pretty badass.
How can you tell?
Man, there are a lot of Buddhas. There's like a retinue of, I would say, 108 directly is what I'm thinking of. But anyway, I don't want to get way too off topic on something like that. But study, same way. You play enough guitar and you know where all the notes are. You study enough.
Yeah. I mean, I call this place the Zen Garden and Pub, so.
Dude, your backyard's beautiful.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
sir.
it. So, that's why I got the Buddhas and I got Bruce Lee and I got Chinese.
Yeah.
Probably mixed with a little bit of Japanese all over the place. So it's just kind of Asian themed. And
I like it.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
Richard Mallet.
And then we got Richard Mallet.
Yeah.
He's running his ass off right there. 2011.
He's an
Run, Richard.
He's got a fresh face. He's like a little baby boy.
I'm going to have to do a close-up of that poster now.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
We're going to have him in next Monday, so we can ask him about that.
Right.
Yep.
That's cool. You should tell him to shave up.
He's going to have to get a picture with the picture.
Just
bring the same jersey so we can get a recreation in the carpet wall. Oh, I got to take your portrait at some point in there.
Did you what? With what?
Yeah, we'll do that after the music.
You're going to take my portrait away from me?
Yeah, I'm going to steal it.
I'm
pretty sure that was a Goosebumps.
Dude,
episode.
I saw at Barnes & Noble like 4 days ago, they have Goosebump books, the same old stories, but they've reworked like the cover art and stuff.
Oh, man.
And they sold a box set in a nice tin of the original Goosebumps books, and I just couldn't help but wonder whatever came of like the tons of them that I'm sure I had back in the day.
Right.
Did you ever collect them?
No, but I read them occasionally.
Yeah, I think my kids had the good majority of them.
Yeah.
Growing up.
I would like the 10.
It's a pretty
that
cool,
and the
put that on my bookshelf.
Series of unfortunate events or whatever.
I never actually read those.
Yeah, that was really. I was reading them too. They were great.
Dang it!
I tried watching the show on Netflix. I'm not really a big fan, but the books were great. Fantastic.
So you didn't like the show? Did you like the movie with Jim Carrey?
I did not like the movie either.
I do like Jim Carrey though.
I love Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
and I've never read
the
books.
movie was all right, but I like Jim Carrey. But
I'm not
as good
to
as
say
the
it was
books.
the best movie ever, but
and I'm not one of those guys that the book's so good, forget the movie. The book's always better. No, that's bullshit. But in this instance, the book was for sure better, or the books. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean it happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's do the next beer.
We're doing the next beer.
There's the next beer.
All
yeah,
right.
man. And it's a different one.
That's good.
This one I'm more excited about.
There's too much stuff over here. We got to get
a bigger table.
We got to get these mics on the table.
Oh, yeah, man.
A bigger table as well.
We're working on things. It's cool. It's cool.
Hey, I could play you guys a song while you pour beer.
All right.
Or would you want to wait?
I want to wait.
It's your game, man. How about I just shut up?
Oh, you don't have to shut up. I like the
enthusiasm.
It's good.
Well, enthusiasm and just the different idea. We've only
ideas.
done it at the end before, and that's because we lost track of time. So I don't know. You want to do one in the middle? Well, then I need to record him pouring the beer, and also need to record you filming.
Don't get ahead of us.
I'm interested in jalapeno pineapple beer.
Yeah.
All right. Well, since we're talking about it, because Josh has already brought it up, he stole my thunder over here.
Thunder.
We're just talking about AC/DC. Nice. Very nice connection.
He set me up for that.
Yeah.
I could see it on his face.
All right. So we're doing the jury panel jalapeno pineapple ale from Legal Remedie Brewing up in Rock Hill, South Carolina. It's a cream ale roasted and raw seeded jalapenos with pureed pineapples are added to this light cream ale. This beer is not spicy nor sweet, just a refreshing ale with a twist. So there you go. 5.5% alcohol, 38 IBUs, so a little bit more bitter than the last thing that we had. All right. You ready?
Of course I'm ready. I was ready the moment I saw those and paid for it.
We'll take Josh's other glass. All right. Here we go.
Now I've got Thunderstruck stuck in my head. And I really just want to start beating on the table.
Over here. All right. Nice. We're going to give you some more of that. We really need to start buying bombers. We just have one thing to open.
What's a bomber?
22 ounce.
Okay.
Instead of pouring all these 12-ounce cans.
Oh, it's not that big of a deal.
It's horrendous, man. It's really time consuming. I don't like it.
Oh my gosh.
I don't like it at all. All right, I think we got it all. Jesus.
The pickiness.
Takes forever.
I got it, man. Get your beer.
All right, I'm good.
What shall we cheers to? Do you actually cheers to things or for things or from things?
Sure.
Well, you're the guest. Why don't you pick something?
Oh, man. To creativity, huh?
Ooh, that's
Creativity.
Goes along with craft beer pretty well.
Excellent.
Do you knock before or after? Just after?
Oh, you can smell the jalapeno.
Always knocking. Ooh, that is a good one.
Big time right up front. I don't smell the pineapple, but I smell the...
So I have to say, jalapeno is one of my favorite beer flavors.
Oh, yes.
Especially when it's noted well like this, yeah.
That is fantastic.
That is really good.
Yeah.
I have not had this beer either, so I think I got 2 new ones tonight. I appreciate it.
Legal Remedy
Legal Remedy
has
got solid
not
stuff.
let me down.
I think so too.
Pineapple is faint to non-existent, really.
Yeah, I mean, there's a hint of a sweetness there, but you definitely get the aroma for sure.
It's
No
like-
heat, like I said. I don't get any heat whatsoever, but I can taste the pepper.
The flavor of the peppers.
It's like you're getting a hamburger that had those cooked with grilled pineapple and peppers, and it's soaked into the bun, but someone didn't want to eat the pineapple and peppers, so they're just eating the hamburger,
Yeah.
and you get the residual flavors, but it's not
You're
in the
making me
format.
taste it. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm there.
And now I just want to eat a burger, honestly.
I almost
This may
got
go well
one.
with the burger. That may be a good pairing.
Oh,
I
yeah?
almost stopped at Ye Ole Fashion, got a burger on the way home.
I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah,
Ye Ole Fashion's got a good burger.
it's pretty good.
That's what they do.
I don't mind it at all.
And it's local.
I get the double bacon double cheeseburger.
Is Ye Ole Fashion only here?
I want to say it's at least the low country, right?
I've never thought about it.
Ye Ole
I don't know if
Fashion-
it's the South in general or just South Carolina. I
I
don't know.
really don't know the answer.
Do we want to look that
I
up?
just assumed there
Do we
were...
really even care?
We could go ogle that, but yeah.
Go ogle that? How clever with your words, Mr. Jarman.
just spelled words. Sorry, did I spell that right?
I don't even know where to look. Talk amongst yourself. Hey, I got a question. So you mentioned open mics a little while ago that I guess you just went to a few open mics and now
Yeah, so
you
I
actually run an open mic, right?
Somerville, I live outside of Somerville, so Somerville's not actually my hometown, but there are practically no people in Ridgeville, so this is my hometown. And the first open mic I went to was at a place called Single Smiles, which is now changed to Cup of Mana in Somerville.
Right.
It's right in downtown Somerville. And,
Excuse me.
it was really the first time I'd done anything in downtown Somerville. I went to school there in the past, but aside from that, Coastal Coffee Roasters has a really kick-ass open mic that helped me out a whole lot, really. I met a lot of friends, musicians and listeners, and acquired a lot of fans and things that way. And open mics are really a good thing, not only for the artist who's performing, but for the listeners, because I don't know, it's a place to be creative. You can do whatever you want. You can cover someone else's music. You can do something weird and off the wall. Some people, I swear, just go up there to make noise. But hey, I wouldn't ask them if that's the truth or not. But yeah,
Yeah.
you know, I started hosting that very same open mic in Coastal Coffee Roasters, and I really got to see it from the other side, from the host's perspective. So it wasn't, it's an event that's not all about me as a songwriter. I can't really apply my ego to it. I can just kind of be there, add my character to the event, and cater to other people like someone else once did for me when I was 16 or 17, wanted to go out there and play my little angsty song to the world, and everybody in that room was probably just like, all right, kid, you're 16. We've all felt this shit. Come on. But,
Yeah.
but it was cool. And for people who don't have the confidence to get up and speak about how they feel, it's inspiring, I think, to watch a young person do it. And as I'm sticking with this career, I'm starting to see it and feel it for the young people who have the courage to get up there and do it. Like the open mic, again, that I just mentioned, Coastal Coffee Roasters, is there's a kid there who's like 15, and he's one of the strongest songwriters who comes out ever, and he blows my mind every time. And I have to like keep my cool so I can be inspired and be like, hey man, keep doing your thing. And I want to tell him like, dude, you need a record label. Let me hook you up with this guy. But you have to be cool, and like, I don't know, it's a cool thing for sure. I enjoy the aspects of applying what I've learned to other people instead of just trying to make money with it. Because I'd love a mansion and, you know, a big chocolate cake, but ultimately once you've eaten chocolate cake in all the mansion rooms, you still have nothing else to buy. And I just don't know if I don't know, I'd rather be there for others, man, than get wrapped up in trying to do things for myself all the time. I'll get to eat cake.
I like that mindset, and I also think it's funny that the only thing you would buy in a mansion is a giant chocolate cake.
Dude, listen.
I wasn't going to say anything.
When I have a giant mansion,
there's nothing else to buy.
And I sit there and I'm like, you know what? I got a good beer and a giant chocolate cake. I'm pretty set.
There's a lot of beer that would go really well with a giant chocolate cake.
And see, I would love to figure out which beers those are, you know?
I mean, probably even that first beer we had. Because, you know, you get chocolate cakes with raspberry drizzled on it and stuff like that. So that sweet.
Shit.
That
Yeah,
sweet beer
that's a great idea.
See, it's all coming together, man. See, that's all you need.
It's all connections, man.
Fuck
it's just
yeah.
like 10 degrees of separation from everything.
Networking.
I would say the pith point of what I was saying was money truly can't buy everything. You get wrapped up in that forever. In fact, I watched something today on fame as per Justin Bieber's perspective. Okay, you're talking about a person who gets a lot of shit from musicians and listeners alike, but is still incredibly famous and incredibly rich. And you sort of, like, I watch these videos of how this dude composes himself, and he really sounds like he tries very hard to control his mind and be compassionate and kind, but he has to face paparazzi like blowing him up no matter where he goes, and
millions and millions of tweets
and you know, I take that in consideration and maybe even review his lyrics and realize maybe some of that is truth, and he's just like struggling, but he has to struggle in front of everyone. He has to struggle right there, and a lot of people just think he's some you're some Hollywood rich kid, you can get everything you want, but ultimately I think those with fame struggle in a way that most people don't think about because they long for money and those big giant chocolate cakes.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
So, chocolate cake's great, but not when you have to eat it every day.
Yeah. It's like you don't run away from your problems. They just change. You're always going to have problems. They just become different problems.
So I don't really know if fame's a curse or a blessing, but I really don't try to like push for it too much. I just try to continue being creative, inspire other people, and if I get a big chocolate cake in a mansion, dude, I'm not gonna say no. I'm gonna move the hell in and eat that chocolate cake.
We're gonna have to get you a big chocolate cake.
I'm gonna eat it, and we'll do it right here.
If I would have known, I would have got it tonight. I wouldn't eat it.
Yeah, that's not keto, man.
You wouldn't eat the chocolate cake?
He would definitely eat something.
Yeah, we'd have to have that.
I was a little upset today.
Is it Desert Dawn? It's a cake kind of day for you, Brian?
No. I used to be able to eat a whole, I mean, my kids, I couldn't wait for their birthdays to come up, or my birthday even, to warrant buying a cake, and I always, had to get the buttercream frosting. And if somebody didn't want their frosting on their cake, give it to me. I mean, I was the frosting king.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
I ate so much sugar, it is not even funny. I'm not lying. I'd eat a whole box of Little Debbie cakes, whatever, Swiss rolls, Swiss Miss rolls, Nutter Butter bars.
Yes.
Freaking whatever.
So good.
Why are you doing this to me? I just talked about the importance of a chocolate cake in my life. Bragging on Little Debbie cakes.
When I lived with Joshua, he was a Little Debbie driver. So we get all the expired Little Debbies.
Oh,
different Josh. Different Josh.
I mean, I figured. I was like, I don't remember this.
So this is a Josh Tipton, not Joshua Jarman.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we would get Star Crunch has expired by a couple months. Still tastes like a brand new Star Crunch.
Yeah.
They say Twinkies turn to wine after a certain amount of time.
They
right?
do. We didn't get many Twinkies. All the very popular things did not expire. We didn't get those. So you got the second-rate Debbies. So
there you go.
We're going to go backwards for a second. Since 1972, Ye Ole Fashion has grown to 7 locations in the Charleston Low Country. So I'm assuming it's all local.
Wow.
Hey, there's your free plug there, Ye Ole Fashion.
Yeah. Sorry,
Still
I brought
at
it
7
up.
locations. That's not bad.
Hey,
yeah.
Actually, I don't know a single Ye Ole Fashion that has closed down.
Such useless
I would say that's
information.
incredibly successful. For a
Yeah,
local company,
I
to be
agree.
honest.
So useless.
What?
But it was just sitting there. I had to talk about it.
No, that's important.
We'll make sure that they're adhering. In fact, I saw
If
some.
I can get some free milkshakes out of it.
There's just like one person listening in the background. What the fuck happened with Ye Ole Fashion?
Yeah.
He was so relieved. I really do want to go to Ye Ole Fashion now, and I don't even have the proper pills to enjoy it.
Dude, it's what? Oh, because you're dietary needs.
I was trying not to mention it this time.
What do you mean?
We've
yet I
mentioned it every
still
episode.
failed.
The
I know
lactose intolerance.
dairy's in everything, man. It's
We
so
know.
upsetting, and I want it. They have so many
At
ice
the
cream
beginning of every
options.
I want
episode, we
it
need
so
to have a
bad.
thing flashing lactose intolerant over
Yeah,
your
you
head,
just threw
pointing
me
down.
for a loop there, man. But I think it's 11:52. We've overstepped our Ye Ole Fashion boundary there.
Yeah, they close
Wow.
at 11, right?
I don't know. I've
Wednesday
never
nights.
actually gone out of my
I
way
think
to
on the
eat at Ye Ole
weekends.
Fashion.
Weekends is midnight.
You ever
There's
had
one time that I had ice cream at Ye Ole Fashion, and I
one time?
shit you not recently, well, within the last 2 years, I didn't have a pill, and I didn't care, and nothing happened.
I think I got it for you, right? Was that the night I went?
No,
No.
I sat outside and ate it because I thought, wow, I really hope we leave in a relative decent amount of time because I ate this without lactate,
Yeah.
and it's gonna wreck me. And then
I would say the mind's a powerful thing. That's really the only thing I got for that.
I've
one.
tried several times, and it has not reoccurred.
Yeah.
It was just a magical night of wonderful
It's like one freebie.
digest. Yeah, right.
Get a freebie.
It's like Spider-Man from Family Guy. You only get one, Peter.
Everybody gets one.
Oh, that's what it is.
Hey, well, I'm sorry, I stole your quote. Your quote of a quote.
Did you ride the van over here?
No, man. Let's not talk about such depressing things in the damn microphone.
Well, what's the van? What's going on with the van?
All right, so
Last I saw, it was looking great.
it is. I have been building a 1984 Dodge B250 van. It is an old conversion van. I gutted out and built a tiny home in. And as of now, it has running water. It has the ability to go 24 to 36 hours completely off grid on a battery system. Yeah,
Solar
right?
or just battery?
No solar yet, man. It's inverted, so it's kind of, I don't know. I would like to do solar. It's just going to cost some more money. But
Right.
this is such an old vehicle I got for really, really cheap. My friend at Don's Car Crushing here in Somerville. And I've been putting a lot of work into it. I was chasing a huge brake issue forever, and the thing didn't stop. And that's like 7,000 pounds. It didn't
Oh
stop
my
at all.
god.
Like, I moved it maybe 15 feet in my yard and had to use a tree to stop. It did not stop. And
Ooh,
so
man.
I've resolved that for the most part. We still have more bleeding
For
to
the
do.
most part.
Dude, bleeding brakes in some of these old cars is like a long, tedious process. There's
Yeah.
like, you think you get all the air out, and then there's more air. But anyhow, the van is not quite done, but it's insured, and I'm paying for it to be done.
Yeah.
So hopefully this week, next week, somewhere in there, I'll be able to drive it out to Cottageville for a festival and playing out there. It would be cool. But
Okay. That's
very-
what I was going to ask is what's the
Yeah.
plan for the van? What's the plan?
Can you send us a video
it's very
if you get it
close.
up and running?
Yeah.
Throw it up on the website.
I'm gonna do a YouTube walkthrough of the thing because, like I said,
Yeah.
I've put a lot of work into it. It's like insulated. It's a tiny home. The only thing I can't do is stand up or like, I mean,
That would be hard pressed because you're a tall dude anyway.
Yeah,
6'6".
I don't matter what you got. Even a bus
It's
is
true.
sometimes hard for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's very cool and I'm proud of it. And I've done it at a discount. I want to take it up to Asheville first and then possibly to Greenville after there. Come back for a little while, check it out. It's very old, and so I want to make sure it doesn't leave me somewhere because it's huge and it'll cost me a lot of money to tow. So I don't have any interest on the West Coast, but I would like to do some traveling in the mountains.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Yeah, if you just
Yeah.
you just want to take it across the country and just stop in different towns and say, hey, can I play in your
Something like that.
in
yeah,
your
I mean,
bar or something?
I am very planless. I have no plan, and
Didn't
I've
you-
done that intentionally.
Didn't you mention to me one time that you wanted to actually do a van session, like record inside the van?
Yeah, I built it in such a way. I actually kind of built I don't know how to describe this. I have a Murphy-style bed. The bed folds up, and when the bed's folded up, I have like a little studio space where I have integrated some studio speakers into the side wall and can hook up my mixers and things just the same as I would in a live setting playing music somewhere. So I can practice all my shows. I could also have friends in for something like what you guys are doing here, a podcast, or specifically recording music. I had 3 guitarists in that van the other day, and we were all jamming.
What?
3 guitarists in a dark room van. It was a little cramped, but it was pretty cool. And so the idea is that while I travel, say I open for a band, maybe I can capture like an impromptu collaboration with that band and put together some sort of van sessions EP or something to share with people.
I love it.
It is. It's a cool concept. And if I could do this for a year or two before either, getting a normal house filled with chocolate cake or, a bigger van or something, then that sounds like an experience to me.
Yeah. I mean, you already got car karaoke, right? With Josh, what's that dude's name? The late night guy. Y'all don't know?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, and they did.
No.
I don't know his name, but yeah, they do.
What the heck is his name? So there's already something in a car. Why can't you do something in a van?
There's a lot of things in cars.
Yeah. It'd be so easy to do like just a YouTube series out of this van, setting a camera in front of it. You can create the illusion that it's a lot bigger than it is.
Right.
So I look forward to actually moving it from its current.
Oh, I bet.
Yes.
And are you still a botanist? Didn't you put some plants and stuff in there? Or?
Nice.
It did. I did
herbs.
have some plants in there, and we got a sort of obscured snowstorm here in Charleston recently, and it killed a lot of those plants. So
gotcha.
having to start from scratch. And
are they on the roof? Do you have just like a lawn layer at top?
No, it's cool.
With like different herbs, like garlic and basil.
Air plants, basic succulents like aloes and things for burns, and easy things like mint.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, mint grows like
you can mix drinks.
No problem.
Little some mint.
Yep, because that's what I do in
cocktails.
I do have like bottle openers, like nice bottle opener on the door, and some. It's very cool, man. I can't wait.
Do you have
to
a
show
place
it
to
off.
store cold things?
I have a fridge, a huge fridge,
Shit.
like that size fridge.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It is. It's wonderful, man.
It's so cool.
My uncle wants to see it. My uncle, I looked at his van the other
man.
day. He was house sitting for my parents while we went out to Arizona for my son's wedding, and came back and he was still there, and he gave me a tour. First time I've seen it besides pictures. Gave me a tour of it the other day. It was pretty good.
Well, there are lots of things. Like, I've never built anything like this before. And in fact, I built it because I can't afford, to have rent alone at this time. So I thought that this was an easy way to travel and still have the things I needed. But sitting in there now, of course, for hours, there are many things I would do differently. But, you live and you learn, and you can, understand why you have to do those things differently so that you don't do them next time. But it's still awesome. In fact, I think it's resellable if someone else wanted to enjoy it after I was done. So look forward to the next one. I would love to do a bus. Yeah, for sure.
I think the guys down the street over here have been doing a bus since last year or something. Right when you turn to go out the neighborhood.
Yeah, I saw
they
that.
gutted it out last year.
Well, I didn't know what they're doing with it, but there has been a school bus just sitting on the corner.
Yeah, it's all gutted on the inside. I don't know what else they've done to it, but
if you get like a bread truck or something, that would be awesome.
No,
that's good size.
That would not be awesome.
Why?
I'm not trying to have people spread bread around everywhere.
What are you talking about?
He just goes, no. That would not be like, why?
Grains, man.
Grains. I mean,
they kill you.
The bread's no longer in the truck, Caleb.
Oh.
It's just the truck itself.
So we are on our second beer now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the beer's fault.
Have you ever heard of the porch jam?
That's Dan Riley's thing, yeah?
Is it?
Or is that his thing?
Was it his thing? We just talked to him the other night.
Yeah, he's the one who started it. He said, I was a little selfish when I kind of started the porch
that's right.
jams.
I remember that now,
I heard a little bit about that, yeah, and I heard it went really well for them.
I haven't been. I meant to go this past week, and I didn't. I'm going to go on the next one on the
May 13th.
Yeah.
May 13th is at the Knightsville General Store.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice. Yeah. That
all the musicians are on the porch.
Supposed to be a little coffee shop too, I guess, right?
Yeah, and they have like other drinks inside and little knicknacks and really cool things.
Yeah, I got some rope sandals there that I can't do without. They're awesome.
Really?
It is an old town general store.
Yeah.
With modern products. It's really cool.
It reminds me of I've been by it many times, but I've just never gone in. But
I love those local places, man. It seems like as time goes on, I just keep discovering more and more little places that like tucked in here and there.
My dad's parents, they owned a general store in Battletown, Kentucky.
Battletown.
There's a little gas pump out front. We go inside. There's a kitchen. You get fried chicken and stuff, but there were only like a handful of aisles with just random stuff in it, and it was really. Just locals. Everyone knew everyone that came in, and we always went and hung out there for a while until they sold it. Good memories.
Battletown.
Right?
Everybody's out front drinking a Coke or a Pepsi out of a glass bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I've ever had a
It's
Pepsi
a quintessential
in a glass
small
bottle.
town gas station. Yeah.
Oh wow,
Pepsi in a
good
glass
point.
bottle?
Yeah, Pepsi.
Actually,
Coke,
I
all
think the
guys
popular
would be
thing
Coke,
up there is
of course,
RC Cola.
RC Cola I've had in a glass
When I was
bottle.
growing up,
Yeah,
I remember
Dr.
everyone
Pepper was big in the
raged
bottle.
over RC Cola.
Yeah. And then you turn them back in, you got cash back for your returned bottle.
Dude,
Yeah,
now
sure,
that
man.
I thought was some sort of myth. I
No.
didn't think people actually, there's
Yeah,
a place.
actually did.
They're like, you got to go to Missouri. I'm like, I'm not in Missouri. I just got all these glass bottles.
Yeah,
Here in
dude, I
Charleston,
mean-
what do I do?
And there's still people that do it, right? I think there's still people that do it. Like California, I think you can still return your bottles, deposit or whatever.
Yeah, just drive to California,
I'm not
man.
there.
I'm on the way with all
Yeah.
my bottles.
Right.
Tied to
We'll
the top
use
of my
Josh's
big
bread
blue
truck.
van.
You can take them all over there for us.
You earned $5.
Yeah, people are like, look at that hippie. Tiny home with a bunch of.
I used to do that as a kid, though. My mom would take me out. I think it was partly just to clean up the neighborhood, but it was to also show me how to fend for myself and make my money off of aluminum cans or whatever. So we'd go out, we'd walk the highway, just like a beautification thing. Before they started the Adopt a Highway stuff, we were out adopting a highway and cleaning up around our neighborhood, collecting cans, and she'd let me take them over to the aluminum recycling place, and I'd keep the money.
Hey, that's good parenting.
Yeah,
I know, I was about to say, you sound like a
Earning
sucker,
money,
but it's a good
and
value
cleaning
that
up at
you
the same
earned.
time.
Yeah, that's nice.
Good. It's a good memory. I like it.
Good job, Brian.
Yeah. And now
The
I want to do the same thing because I still need money.
I had to clean up. myself.
I don't think it's worth it though.
I mean,
The time
Orange
it would take me to
jumpsuit?
go out.
Orange jumpsuit.
Yeah, they've already outsourced that to the prisons.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't like you taking up their jobs.
Right. Come on,
Why am I saying
Mr. Dales. That's Mike. I'd be fighting the guy for a can.
Why am I saying this? He says. Things you say into a microphone but can't take back.
I know.
Right?
So, I mean, you're a musician, so I'm asking a lot of musician questions, but what do you know about the Allendale Green?
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
the
man.
Barn Jam or whatever? So
Yeah.
I know Fleming was out there. I talked to another guy at the brewery today that he's going to be on the show eventually, but he was talking about doing some shows. Said it was
Allendale Green.
fantastic.
Yeah, that's Eddie White out in Allendale, like
Yeah, I don't
that
know how
area,
to say
Mount
it.
Pleasant area. Man, that guy does so much for the music community up in that area, and he includes so many different types of people. But he's got Allendale Green as a small space where he's got vendors who come out and sell their art. He's got a brick fire pizza, which, oh man, they're so good. I can taste it already. But anyway, I played there maybe, I don't know, 2 months ago with a friend of mine, and they have a showcase called Barn Jam.
Barn Jam.
And where they'll invite multiple songwriters and or touring musicians in, so they'll have 5 or 6 hours a segment of those musicians playing. And in fact, my cousin from Fernandina Beach, Florida, is in a band called Flip Turn, and they'll be up there in like 2-3 weeks, which is just some sort of,
I remember you mentioning them to me.
yeah, and they're like I don't know how to describe them, and I'd hate to insult them, but like pop indie sort of thing, and so they're really diverse.
Right.
I would definitely.
We said touring artists. I think that's what the guy was telling me today, that some people just are traveling through town and they just stop in there on a Wednesday night and play like they're going up to Nashville or something.
And
it's
he's
just
a
stopping point to practice.
He's such a compassionate. He's actually a dentist in the Mount Pleasant area. And
Wow.
a successful dentist, and he gives back so much to the community. My understanding, like he'll take care of a touring musician if they ask to play. He'll feed them and send them on their way with some gas money, and that's just
Nice.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's cool to see that there are people in
Paying
the
it forward,
community
giving
doing
it
that.
back.
Yeah, heck yeah.
We take care of you.
Nice. It sounds kind of like Blackwater, but
That's exactly
maybe,
right. Blackwater
maybe a
does the
bigger
same thing
scale
for sure.
right now. How long have they been around? Just a couple years? or
Blackwater or
something?
on?
No, the Allendale Green.
I would say a few years. A few
Yeah,
years,
so they've
yeah.
gotten established.
But I mean, you do what you can, and as he's established, plus with his career, he may be able to do one thing, and you get places like Blackwater, they do everything they can as well to cater to the people who come up there.
Yeah.
And
Heck yeah.
because
This
of-
Friday. Whoop whoop.
Yeah,
This
Friday
Friday.
the 13th, right?
Actually, I say this Friday, but this episode won't be released until next Friday. Last Friday.
Sure, Friday the 13th.
Whoop whoop.
Just say the date.
Friday the 13th, everybody. You missed it already.
Yeah.
You didn't even see me there. You probably didn't even win the raffle ticket.
That's right. I see what you're saying now. Nobody's going to hear it. Yeah.
I know.
It's going to be over with.
I know. They're all like, shut up, Caleb. We saw you there. We tried playing the raffle ticket. I'm like, I know, I'm sorry.
Oh, time.
I'm excited though. Friday the 13th.
You mean we're excited?
Oh my gosh, you're right. This is getting too trippy.
Very weird.
Back out, everybody. Back out.
Back out.
Jump ship.
Yeah, man.
I think it's a good time for a song, personally.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's perfect. Bring it on.
Do you have some stuff you had planned on playing, Josh, or?
I don't know.
I think
Yes,
it's also time.
Because I had
another beer.
Yeah, I got a couple songs here.
Well,
you
don't
got
play
some
until-
requests, Brian?
Until I get
Yeah,
I thought maybe you did.
I had a couple of requests, but I mean, you play whatever you want. If you got some new stuff you're working on, I'd love to hear new stuff. But Want is definitely one I want to hear. If you could do Want sometime tonight, that would be fantastic. That's all I'll give you.
So, the plan is to do at least one in the carpet wall area. We're calling it carpet wall sessions.
Yeah, so whichever one you want to save for the carpet wall
Yes.
session.
Save the ace in the hat for that one.
Is it ace in the hat or is it ace in the hole?
Um,
Or is it both?
I say we make up our own. Jarman, do you want any more? Or did you want to switch to something
Ace,
else? Or...
ace in the hat.
I'll take some.
All right.
I'll tell you what. I know Joe Rogan hates when people do this, or he talks shit about them when they leave, but
Are you going to pee?
yeah, I gotta go pee.
Yeah.
So while he's tuning up, I'll be right back.
I don't blame you. Was he singing?
No, I said I got to pee too.
Oh, do you? We all have to pee then. All right, so
We
we're
all
just
have
going to
to
take a
pee.
pee break, everybody. You're not going to hear this because I'm going to block it out. All right, Mr. Jarman, let's get into it.
All right. First song I'm going to do is called Ghost. I've got those mean and evil blues. And I just can't help but think of you. I didn't come here to win, I came here to lose. Though losing you comes all too soon. And I stand among all of your rooms. And know there is nothing left to choose. What's not for sale will never fail. It's hardened by your will to prevail. It's not for sale. It's not for sale. It's not for sale. It's not. And oh, what an art to be haunted. It's the thought that you wanted. It makes me wonder why you hung around. But you opt to give all of it. Consider the thought of it. It's all that you wanted, but you've turned it down. Oh, and you've turned it down. You turned it down. Oh. I've got those mean and evil blues. And I just can't help but think of you. I didn't come here to win, I came here to lose. Though losing you comes all too soon. And oh, what an art to be haunted. It's the thought that you wanted. It makes me wonder why you hung around. But you opt to give all of it. Consider the thought of it. It's all that you wanted, but you've turned it down. What an art to be haunted. It's the thought that you wanted. It makes me wonder why you hung around. But you opt to give all of it. Consider the thought of it. It's all that you wanted, but you turned it down. Oh, and you've turned it down. You turned it down. Ghost.
All right, now we're back.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that was fantastic. All
And
right,
the name of
Brian.
that again?
That was called Ghost.
Ghost. I kept wanting to say dragon for some reason.
Dragon. Can you do me a favor?
What?
Can you turn that on?
That's what ghosts do, right?
Yeah, hit the front button for like 2 seconds. All right, and it's gonna beep at you a few times. Wait. All right, now push that button. All right, we're good.
We're good.
Dragon, huh?
Dragon.
Yeah, for some reason I had dragon in my head.
Oh man. I guess that's what a ghost's moment would do. It would just drag on and on and on.
Dragon.
But yeah, I wrote that, I would say in 2014. And I guess if I were to be completely frank about what it was inspired by, it was sort of inspired by some Buddhist philosophies that I was learning about at the time. But ultimately, I mean, it's named Ghost because it sort of depicts someone who doesn't know when to stop.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Very cool. I had forgotten about that one, actually. Obviously, I thought it was called Dragon, but...
I don't. Ghost and dragon are so different.
Hey, maybe they're not.
Those aren't even two opposing forces in like a battle. You can't just be like ghost versus dragon.
That would be intense.
Did we talk about dragons or something?
Would you rather face like a haunted house ghost or a dragon?
I really don't know the answer to that. I don't.
Like, consider the movie fantasy in the situation. Would you like to be in a horror movie faced with a haunted house, or would you rather be in an adventure like Lancelot type versing a dragon? I would have to go with the dragon.
I think I might have to, because there might be some way that I can maybe control that dragon. There
Right.
might be some
Right.
way I
You're
can...
not outdoing a ghost. It's
Yeah.
got you. It's just by the balls.
I might be able to outwit it or something, or mind control it, something I could do with the dragon.
See, the thing is with the horror thing, even when you're not being actually attacked by the ghost, you're still miserable. You're not having a good time.
It's still scary.
When you're not fighting the dragon, you're probably getting drunk somewhere and having conversations with people about how that damn dragon's giving you such a hard time.
Yeah.
I don't even know, man.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
I'm so glad we went on this adventure together, everybody. It was like a little story, like a little kid's book that we just jumped in.
So
we all,
plug if that's cool.
Yeah.
For the, if you like song that you heard, I have recordings and things online. It's joshuajarmanmusic.com, or you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, or the like.
Oh, you're on
Through
Twitter?
all those.
I'm on Twitter, but I don't update it, so you can follow me there, but it's going to be a one-sided thing. I'm just saying.
Oh.
But I'm there. And so, dude, I'm so anti, like, the active social media thing that it's going to be like shooting myself in the foot. It's like pigeonholing yourself.
I understand, man.
But I feel that is not the end of the rope for me, and that's okay. I think I'm not the only one. So in this changing world that is all looking at the social media, I think there'll be an influx of people looking elsewhere. Like,
I agree.
Let's make an example of paper flyers. There was a time where like you knew your favorite band was coming to town because they had a nice little flyer and high gloss, like posted up in your favorite place, and you knew the band was coming. So we don't need that anymore. We have social media. But if you're the guy who puts the flyer there and you have the only flyer, then people see your flyer and they look because there's a physical object on a white wall, what's become a white wall. And I just kind of have this feeling like vinyl's come back into being cool and has outsold CDs and shit. So people are really into nostalgia because they want this escape from what we have now. That's sort of the name of the game for humans, I think. But yeah, dude, posting flyers, posting things in the old school way, I think will be the new school.
I'm excited for that too.
I think you're right. Yeah. I think it happens like every 20 years or so. Things come back around.
Good.
I don't know. I'm just throwing that number out there, but that's.
I'm tired of social media too. It's exhausting.
Yeah, but there's a lot.
But it is here, though.
It works. Yeah.
I mean, it's here.
It does. I know,
sometimes you got to embrace stuff, but I think there's a lot more good to it than there is bad to it.
I haven't posted a painting in forever, and honestly, that's because I haven't painted anything in forever. And there's a part of me that feels bad that I haven't posted on my personal Instagram account.
Well, it represents your identity as you want it to be.
Right? I'm like, no one has seen shit from me. I haven't painted anything.
I'm nowhere near as creative as either one of you two guys, but I feel the same way. I feel like, we started this thing up and I've kind of lost track of some of the other things that I was doing. Not that that's a bad thing. I think this encompasses everything that we're doing, to be honest. But like the keto page, the keto dojo. Yes, I'm mentioning it again on this episode.
We each get one.
I feel like I've neglected that a little bit since we started this thing. This has kind of taken all my effort and energy, same way as with your painting and stuff. And even, the Dale Stotts from the Zen Garden, I haven't been posting those types of things. It's just been, I've kind of refocused my energy a little bit. And sometimes I feel like I'm neglecting those other things and maybe letting some of those people down. So I'm trying to find a balance of.
It's an ebb and flow thing, man. Just kind of. Yeah. I don't know. You be investing energy in multiple things, and it all sort of works itself together. But
yeah, I feel like they're all synergistically kind of combined.
Maybe,
as one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I feel like I'm trying to combine all that into this.
Yeah.
I think we talked about that in the pilot episode, actually.
Yeah,
we're trying to combine everything that you do and everything that I do, one big ball of wax, and make it this big machine.
Big machine. Oh, we get you where you want to go.
Why you gotta make it weird?
I don't know, dude.
He got a new microphone.
He's all excited.
I am excited. It's so nice. It's so pretty. Yeah, I understand. And it's funny, to kind of play off what both of you are kind of saying, and I don't know if you actually said it, but I know you well enough that I can see where your brain is going when you were saying something a second ago.
Don't always
but
on that one.
when you're talking about focusing on different things, it's kind of like you're moving through your life and you're kind of taking little steps. Like, all right, how's the energy over here? Like, oh, no. Right. All right, that's not too bad. Well, what about the energy over here? And when we hit this podcast, it was like, what's the energy? And just sucked you right in there. Well, that got a little weird. And like the energy has felt so good that I haven't wanted to paint. This is just where I wanted to be. And so that's
investing your energy.
Exactly. And it's not a bad thing in the situation. Because, if I got a commission to a pet portrait, I'd be all over it. I'm going to go paint. And that's something I still love and enjoy doing. It's just most of my energy is now in this little area that I had never reached before.
And the funny thing is, you always feel like you should be gravitating towards that comfortable energy, towards that comfort zone. And I think we did this pull was something the exact opposite. It was the scariest fucking pull ever. I mean, to come in here and sit in front of, I mean, even people we know and some people that we don't know, to sit here and talk and have a conversation with people and be recorded and be videotaped. I mean, this is way out of my comfort zone, I think. But it was what pulled me in. So I think a lot of people think that they need to gravitate towards comfort, and really sometimes discomfort is even better.
Well,
right.
True. And that's a teaching in itself, sort of seeing adversity as a quick way to sharpen the blade, so to speak.
Yeah.
You're not going to do that on, using the blade metaphor on something that's soft and cushy. I mean, Jell-O is not going to help you in a sharpening situation. So, yeah, I mean, but we forget that.
Yeah.
I know I do. Life gets tough, and you're like, don't learn from the things that happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we all, of course, enjoy the path of least resistance, right? I mean, but,
Water, man. Yes,
yeah.
sir. But, like you said, there's great energy to be harnessed sometimes in the friction. That's why there's heat created in friction.
right.
Well said.
What are we? I don't know. Don't give me that. Don't condone this sort of speech.
It's the Zen guy.
I need to be talking about football and things that are going on in the world. Yeah.
Right.
I don't think football is going
I
on.
think that's talked about enough. Yeah, there's no football. It's hockey.
Although there was a baseball
Wearing
game on
cards in my
tonight,
sleeve, right?
and the pitcher got nailed right in the face.
Yeah.
On
Do we know enough to talk about this?
no.
What's going on? You're gonna like spark a conversation.
Yeah, there's no way we can make this into a sports podcast.
Nobody
I
knows the
know.
details about it.
I don't even know the two teams playing. I don't even know the proper terms for the athletes and the positions that they're in. Is it a hitter or a batter?
Oh my goodness gracious.
Batter up. Batter.
So we've talked about several things, none of which were aliens, as you had me expecting.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, he kept hit me up. What are we going to talk about? What are we going to talk about? I'm like, I don't know. Every time I talk to Josh, it's never a dull conversation. We get into some crazy thoughts, and sometimes it has to do with some weird shit that I don't fucking understand, like Egyptians having electricity.
Right, I'm trying to see if I can find what
The
you're
Earth
talking
may
about.
be flat.
Hey, I resent that.
And and aliens. I think maybe ghosts or spirits was in there at one point.
A lot of those things are fun to talk about. However, I do suffer from intrigue. It's true.
I know, and I am always so intrigued to hear about what is intriguing you.
Well, sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it's like spreading neurosis.
All right, so
Be careful.
maybe what we should do. What is intriguing Joshua Jarman right now?
Well, I'll give you a direct answer. Lately, I've been intrigued by AI. I've been intrigued by the idea that the technology we have incorporated into our lives is going rather quickly, and nobody's batting an eye. That's the skinny of how I feel right now.
A lot of people, I think, are starting to get to that same point.
It's getting a little weird.
Yeah.
It goes back to what you said a little while ago. Social media is a really great example of where AI is now when it applies to us. And it is going to be what we make it. And it is not a bad thing or a good thing, but it is, it depends on what outweighs the other, and it's kind of how we use it. We got a lot of sarcastic assholes on social media right now who are teaching this thing to be sarcastic assholes.
Right.
So we have to watch that, I think.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, it's just like regular human beings. I mean,
I don't want to talk to you that way because I don't want you to teach a kid to be that way or to talk to me that way, frankly. You know what I
Right.
mean?
You're not going to walk up to a parent and be like, what the fuck?
But we're doing it
in
for
front of a
some
kid.
reason through this thing. You know what I mean? Not this podcast. This podcast has been wonderful. And it's been brought to you by these guys.
I mean,
Yeah.
it could
but
be
yeah,
a
you
little
can't get your
explicit.
face slapped anymore. I mean, you're
Right.
behind a computer screen.
And
Yeah,
that's
nobody's going to
teaching-
call you out on it.
It's weird, man. It's like we all know what I'm not saying right now, and it's very odd because we all have phones in our pockets.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Oh my
We're
God.
all-
Mine's not even in
All
my pocket.
7 billion people are connected.
It's true. Yep, we think we're so close, but we're so far away. Except us. We're actually right here.
And there's so much good we could do with that. But like you said, the assholes are using it for bad. I mean, it's just a classic comic book.
We'll just do.
Oh my God,
our
it
thing.
is.
Like, you guys right now are utilizing technology to do something. You can make a choice of one or two of those paths, or in between.
Oh, we're totally going the evil side, man.
Well, it's cool. I find myself here now.
You guys suck into it.
You get where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But I, at this time, have kind of psyched myself out so much, I would just stay away from social media. I leave it alone for now because I don't know that I can trust myself to feed it, like, just, what am I supposed to, like, post pictures of flowers every day or something? I don't know what to...
That would be nice.
Why not?
I mean, it's true, but...
That would teach the AI to enjoy flowers.
This is true.
I'm a little bit racist, but I really like dandelions.
I like dandelions. Yeah, so I just sort of, I post my shows. I make sure that people who want to see me play and want to know what's going on in my career know what's up. But as far as what I'm eating for dinner, I don't really want to share it with you. So
Yeah.
That's fine, because I'll probably just get jealous.
But what if somebody was really looking for meal ideas that night and you posted a picture and they're like, hey, I like what Josh was eating. I'm going to go get that.
There are a lot of people who post.
It's like you just crumpled that piece of paper up and threw it away. That could have
Go
been
buy a
for
Southern
somebody.
Living magazine.
I would say if somebody is sitting going, I need to know what Joshua Jarman is eating right now, maybe they just need to spend some time with that energy and learn.
I'm about to text you so much.
There's a magazine out there for that.
What are you eating tonight?
And I'll be like, nothing.
Every night, man. I'm going to text you for the next week. What are you eating tonight?
And it'll get weird after 3. I'll be like, Caleb, stop.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same answer for
Always
me.
eggs, bro. I eat omelets.
That's what I was going to say is my answer. Always eggs.
Pretty much.
I'm like, I ate 3 eggs tonight. It either is bacon or it's sausage, and then there's always greens.
Dude, this fella invited me over one day for breakfast recently. He was like, hey, come on and chat. And we talked about this podcast.
Yeah, I heard about the breakfast.
And he's like, eggs and a steak. And I was like, what? It just makes me eggs with a steak on top. And it was just, I don't have breakfast like that often. That's what I can say about that.
It was good.
Yeah,
That's
man.
awesome. I was in Arizona, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we enjoyed steak.
Yeah.
We had extra. I think it was Tommy's, actually. He's like, eat this. I'm like, oh, I can't eat this. So I served it up.
Served it up.
The heck was that?
That was the fridge containing all the sweet nectar. Beer. It was the beer.
What did it do?
I don't know. It knocks when it turns off. It's not
That was
important.
weird. So,
This is good beer.
the beer is good. Is there more in there?
Yeah. You want one?
Well, I meant more in there, but nah.
Oh.
I'm good.
What else you got with your questionnaires?
I don't know. We didn't. I mean,
That note.
this is our notebook. You know, I had. You know,
Full,
Dan's
always
notes was
takes
like
notes.
here, but
We were talking about, filling in the empty spaces.
yeah,
That's what we
there's a
started
lot of
with,
empty
so-
spaces. But no, I didn't have anything pre-planned to ask you. But I mean, I had a few things in my head.
We were talking about AI. How freaky it was.
Well,
Right, and then we ended on a weird note with
we veered out of it.
flowers and
Yeah, that's right. The
Racism.
flowers did get weird.
That's a scary thought, man. And but it's one that we all sort of. I can't speak for everyone, man, but I know I avert that sort of subject because, as I research that thing, I'm like, wow, I feel so mindful. And what are these kids saying? They're like, woke. I feel so woke.
yeah.
I'm learning these things on that device with information that device has provided for me.
Right.
So even still, it's sort of like a shameful hypocrisy. If I can
Right.
say it clearly. But yeah, I mean, what an artful thing, right? A good thing I have a guitar, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Do you have a piece of tape on your laptop?
I do.
Do you really?
In fact, it's made of metal. It's
Yeah.
aluminum tape. Yes, it's true.
I got one covering mine up.
Oh, you do.
Yep.
I will say I remove it when I wish to take a photograph.
Yeah.
But and I don't think that there are, man, dude. I was so ashamed of talking about this sort of paranoia for a while, and I just am not, because I realize now that there's where paranoia begins, truth is also incorporated, and so I don't think there's a room of people watching Joshua Jarman because they want to know what the fuck I'm eating for dinner, because it's usually eggs. So nobody, I'm not that important, right? However,
It's deja vu.
We go back to AI, and I do believe that, it's a beast with 1,000 arms, and it's constantly monitoring through each of our devices. And I mean, it's pretty easy to say. Security is gone. It's been breached.
Right.
You
I
sort
mean,
of
yeah,
let
it's
go of
got
that.
to be.
So while there's nothing cognitively considering what you're doing in your life, like I got nothing to hide majorly. I have my things, but I really am not ashamed. It's always watching how your face responds to what I'm saying right now, or things like that. And it's just kind of documented in there in case it has to learn how to emote.
Yeah. I mean, even this stuff is going to go out over the airwaves, the video, whatever. People could just capture any piece of that they wanted to, and they could make up a whole conversation that we didn't even have.
Right.
And we could go to jail tomorrow.
And I'm pleased to
for something that somebody just put together.
What?
A montage.
That escalated so fast.
Hold on, I'm gonna, since we've already gone over an hour or something, I'm just gonna go bomb.
Oh, we're way over. Yeah.
Dude,
Okay, we're in the sweet spot right now.
You've heard.
We got about 20 minutes left.
You've heard Native Americans said they didn't like photographs taken because it would capture a part of their soul.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. That's what I meant when I said I was going to take your picture.
Right.
Yeah.
So
A lot of people
Portrait.
still believe that today. I mean,
What's
they
interesting-
get mad when you take it.
What do you think I'm doing every time I take someone's picture?
if you ask them why, you say, "Why do you think it takes a part of your soul?" And obviously, like, I feel the same after you take my picture and everything. They say that it's because that captures part of your identity, yourself. And when people have that photograph, they can do with it what they wish. They can talk about it. They can like show people your image and like speak gravely about it. So in the same way, what you just said about our offering of audio in this podcast to the internet, it's like capturing a part of our
Holy
soul
shit.
respectively, because people can do whatever they wish with it. They can make me say something I never said before.
Right.
And that's sort of like the I guess the risk of
Vulnerability.
the vulnerability that is being
Putting
trying to
yourself
be
out there.
public, trying to
Yeah.
be public with really anything.
Right.
I mean, same could be said just about leaving the damn house. I mean, just
Right.
just going outside.
Right.
You're
Which
taking
is
a risk. It's
why-
vulnerable.
But this is magnified. We've
It is.
magnified it for
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm not like outside of the AI revolution. Like that's gonna encompass all of us, and there's just nothing we can do. We can only teach it a certain thing. I don't think there's any stopping that. I think that's a guarantee. Like that's what humans want.
Yeah. Rogan
Yes.
talks about.
Yeah.
I mean,
He
how many times?
foresees-
Yeah, he talks about it all the time. How many times have we gone back to zero? We don't even know. I mean, maybe we've got to this point sometime in the past, and it just all crashed and burned, and we started
That's
back
not where I
from
was
fire and
going.
rocks.
But
Huh? That's not where you're going.
No, but
I feel you.
that was a crazy perspective that I didn't think about.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Shit, man.
The song remains.
I
the
mean,
same.
we could just be repeating this until we get it right.
He was talking about how there's a time where none of us will have any privacy, and we'll all just accept it and know that everyone can view you doing everything at any moment.
Well, people after a certain amount of time, I think we're just having this conversation for our own sake now, but hey, why not? After a certain amount of time, we'll acclimate to having this in our lives. Our kids will have it from an earlier and earlier age, and after a while, we'll be so encompassed in that world that we will very willingly give.
Yeah. I mean, there's 5-year-olds right now that can do more on this computer than I could ever
And
think
they
of
don't
doing.
think twice about it. It's not a
No,
control
it's second
thing
nature.
To them. It's something that feels natural.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
available to them.
Yeah. It's crazy.
But we also remember a time with no internet.
Absolutely.
Dun, dun, dun.
Every time with lots of things.
Right.
Yeah.
You had a knob, you had to pull it.
Exactly. Had 3 channels. Some of them were fuzzy.
With the TV. There's all kinds of this.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's crazy.
Dude, I have a Sega Genesis in my van now that's this big and has 50 games built in with wireless controllers.
What the fuck?
Dude, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's got the same feel.
You got Sonic on it?
Hell yeah. I got
Oh!
Sonic. I sit in my bed in my van.
Yes.
Sonic.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry, was that O a little loud?
No, when you. You good.
I can't even tell when I look at that. So, that's good. It's good. So, did you want to play another song later on, or did you want to cap it up in like a carpet thing, or?
I could play one more song and we could do the carpet thing.
Cool.
Do whatever.
Cool.
It's your game.
So we're saying 2 more
You
songs?
want 2 more
Yeah,
songs?
I think.
I'll give you 3 songs if you want them, but if you. It's
One here and one there?
Yeah, I think that works.
Alright, cool.
I mean, you don't have to do it now.
One more you holding.
I don't know. It came to my brain and I said it out loud.
No, set up. We'll do it now.
Oh, I didn't realize that was good.
Is this thing still on? Probably not.
I think the thing cut off almost immediately, my dude.
Yeah.
All right. Joshua Jarman plays yet another song in the Craft Conversations studio. We watch the bespectable.
Your radio voice in that microphone.
Yes. It's a bit British, for better enunciation.
Do you look for proof in the lies of your news? Do you think that all those who cry tell you the truth? And well, the soothsayer tries not to look you in the eye, while the timing of his smile seems prophet of the times we consider our minds our own. But we're unhappy when we find that the motives are unkind. We're reminded of the vows that were spoken.
All right.
Pretty much that.
Fantastic. What was that one called?
Media.
Media, not dragon.
Not dragon.
Oh man.
Bringing it back.
We're still
All night
waiting
long.
for that dragon.
Yes, sir.
That's great, man.
Thanks, man.
I just love that style. How many guitars have you gone through? I mean, is that like your only
It
guitar
does.
you've had?
Oh man, if you look at this guitar, it certainly does look like gone through, doesn't it? Like,
Right.
You must have
Here.
destroyed many.
Let's get
No,
a
man.
close-up of
So
that
do you
one.
have multiple guitars? That's it. That's the only one you use?
So I have this guitar. I have a 12 string, which is like a secondary, and then I have one that I've hand built, and an electric guitar that I've hand built. So I have several, but not like in abundance. I have had more in the past, and I sort of had to thin out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this one here, man, is Super Trooper. It
So
takes it.
when do you go electric? I mean, you said you have an electric one?
Yeah, occasionally. I really, really love metal, but like much heavier metal than most people would expect. So
Yeah.
it would be a drastic change for me to grab an electric all the time.
Yeah.
But I do like just to have a little edge and a little distortion for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
Me too, man. Me
Me
too.
too, man.
I understand that feeling.
Dude, I know some people who really just can't bear metal. They're just like, I can't deal with that energy at all. Okay.
Yeah, I think y'all might be talking about a little bit harder than what, I mean, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Do Metallica and things like that, but
Yeah.
Megadeth,
It's pretty.
Iron Maiden,
I love it.
those are pretty heavy, but y'all are talking metal. Like Screamo?
Much. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's fine.
I mean,
I thought you were going to post that.
I'm pretty deep in the muck of metal. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
you were gonna
I mean,
post
I
that
like
one that
I like
you-
that term, but screamo. I don't know. I just think of very high pitch, sad singing. I don't know. It was weird, but I did post a video of me in a screaming band.
Did you post it?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to link to it on the first episode. We talked about it. But
You mean to actually? I did link it in the description. I did
Oh,
not
you
actually put it part of the video.
yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, we're going to put. So I think it's time to
Wrap her up.
wrap it up in the carpet.
I think it is time to wrap it up.
Wrap it up in the carpet. That's what we're going to start calling that session.
Carpet.
Yep. We're going to wrap it up in the carpet.
That's pretty awesome. I like that.
All right.
This one's going to be called.
This song's called Want.
Okay.
Cool.
This is Josh Jarman singing Want.
Something in common, you know. And when I ran into you on this road, but you said this is not how it's supposed to go. And then we gave up our ground and we gave out a shout so that anyone lost could be found. And now we give up our world so that we feel less alone, though all that we hear is this sound. And it goes like, all I ever wanted was you. I was caught in my own point of view, and all I ever wanted was truth. It's in your likeness. Thank you. One.
I mean, literally, what a great note to end on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, that was wonderful.
Where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here? I'm
Well-
feeling it.
I think it's just time to call it.
All right.
I think it's been a great night.
I think it's been fantastic.
Mr. Jarman, thank you for coming.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
And to everyone else. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, we'll talk to you soon.